بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. Another maxim today, and that is the correlation between prayers and fasting. And there is a specific correlation. That is 105. Specific correlation, not just, And that correlation has to do when a person travels. So when a person travels and he passes the required distance, al-masafatu al-shar'iyya, then once he or she breaks their prayers or break their prayers, then they break their fasting too. Because fasting and prayers are connected. Talazum. Talazum means there is connection and they are inseparable. Inseparable. So if a person travels in Ramadan from here to San Diego, before noon, he leaves the house in the morning. Then, of course, when he finishes Orange County, and then he goes to, I believe, Oceanside. Then Oceanside is not part of LA. Then this person is traveling. So not only that person breaks his prayers, his salat, his prayers becomes qasr, broken, 2 rak'ah, discounted. Qasr means discounted. But also, he should break his fasting.
You can do it when you start your travel. You don't have to actually...
No. This is misconception. When you are still in Irvine and you are about to leave, and let's say it's time for prayers. If you are home, then you have to pray. Or if you are at the airport here, you want to do it at the airport. This airport, LAX. You do your prayers full because you have not started. Yes, you have the intention, but you did not begin the actual amal. So you do full.
Well, I mean, if you're on the way but you haven't passed the required distance,
No.
when you're in the
Still, you have to be on the way, and at least you have to pass 22 kilometers. It's called Haddut Tarakhus. Haddut Tarakhus. Had means the point of
the 22 kilometers
traveling. Yeah.
in 2 days, like time.
Yes, 17 miles or 22.
For driving these
No.
days,
No. See, the difference, we explained that in the fiqh class, and you were there. You leave the boundaries of Orange County, not the boundaries of Irvine, not the boundaries of your house, not your doorstep. So when you, from here to the end of Orange County, it's about 20 miles. San Clemente is part of where? Orange County, yeah? Maybe that is the last city, San Clemente? And then it tells you, I think, Oceanside County or San Diego County? San Diego County, yeah. So you already drove 25 miles. From there, you begin counting the 22 kilometers. From that point, not from your house. Otherwise, if you start counting from your house, you are still in Orange County. You are still in your neighborhood, in your county. But in the past, when you leave probably your village, 3 homes this side here, because the village is small. And then
There's no car back then.
No car, and the village is small, and then you get outside. You are outside the village. Here, you are not outside your village, your town, your city. You are still in your county. It's not considered. Urf does not say this traveling. Even if you go to LAX, It's not traveling. You are commuting to LAX. This is internal movement, not outward. This is inward movement. Depends. Not only the distance is important, which direction you travel, inward or outward. If you travel inward, you are not traveling. This is not safar. Safar, Urf says safar when you leave your city and you go out. So when you break the prayers, you break the fasting. And here, the dalil for that, or the madrak, or the dalil, the evidence, number one, is Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Sahihat Muawiyah ibn Wahab. This is a very good companion of our Imams, Muawiyah ibn Wahab. And his hadith is Sahihah. عن الإمام الصادق عليه الصلاة والسلام. Imam refers to prayers and fasting as what? As being one. He says, هذا واحد. They are the same. هذا واحد means they are the same. They are the same. What does it mean they are the same? إذا قصرت, when you break your prayers, you break your fast. وإذا أفطرت, if you break your fast, you also break your prayers. Dr. Ali and Dr. Omid, we are speaking about a maxim. A maxim that states there is a correlation between breaking your prayers and breaking the fast. Talazum, there is correlation between them. Wherever you break your prayers, your fast has to be broken too, because of traveling. Wherever the law tells you to break your fast, also your prayers has to be broken too. Talazum, there is correlation between them. The other hadith, موثقة سماعة. So this is one hadith. This is one evidence. Sahih. See, it's very important to pay attention to these terms. The madrak, the hadith, number one is Sahihah. This is the Rawiyah. He's trustworthy, Muawiyah bin Wahab, from Imam al-Sadiq. And it gives you the exact meaning that once you break your prayers, you have to break your fasting. Once you break your fasting, you have to break your prayers. The second is muwathaqa. Muwathaqa is at a lesser degree than sahiha. This is muwathaqa. Muwathaqa. Muwathaqatu Suma'a. His name is Suma'a. Suma'a. His guy, he listens from Suma'a. So a person who pays attention and listens, Suma'a. From the same Imam, عن الإمام الصادق. عن الصادق عليه الصلاة والسلام. What does it say? It says, وَلَيْسَ يَفْتَرِقُ التَّقْصِيرُ وَالْإِفْطَارُ. They don't differ, both. وَلَيْسَ they don't differ. وَلَيْسَ يَفْتَرِقُ. They do not differ. يَفْتَرِق means they differ. So they don't differ. التَّقْصِيرُ. Taqsir means breaking the prayers. Wal iftar. Iftar is breaking your fast. Breaking the fast. فَمَنْ قَصَّرَ فَلْيَفْطُرْ. Whoever breaks his prayers also has to break his fast. فَمَنْ. Whoever. قَصَّرَ في الصلاة, it means. If he breaks his prayers in the prayers, فَلْيَفْطُرْ. فليفطر. Whoever breaks his prayers also has to break his fasting. The second, we said the first evidence, madrak, is the akhbar, riwayat. Sometimes we call them akhbar, sometimes riwayat, sometimes hadith. They give the same meaning. So this is number one basis for our maxim. What is the number two basis? Tasalum. What does tasalum mean? Shall I remove this from the board? What does tasalum mean? No. No. Tasalum means at-tasalum. At-tasalum means means the agreement of the scholars. And we mentioned many times ago, sometimes you say tasalum, sometimes you say ijma'. Ijma' is consensus. And we mentioned, what is the difference, Hamid Agha, between tasalum and ijma'? Which one is more powerful?
Ijma'.
Tasalum is more powerful. Why?
Tasalum is 100%,
Ijma', though it is called consensus, but it's not 100%. Even if it is 95%, 93%, they still call it ijma'. Whereas tasalum, it means 100%. 100%. They don't disagree. And we gave example of what? That the scholars don't disagree among them. They all agree, 100%. Huh? God, or whether the salat is mandatory or not mandatory.
Or 4 rakat or 3.
Or dhuhr is 4 rak'ah or 5 rak'ah. They don't. This one, 100% they agree. So tasalum is greater than ijma'.
Same?
Yes.
So is ijma anything above 50% agreement?
No. Can't. 50% they don't call it. 80%, 90% they call it ijma'. Yes.
Sorry to go back here, but when you break your prayer, must break your fast. But you said when you break your fast, you also change
Break your
prayer.
prayers.
Break it with the.
No. At any occasion
Okay.
that breaking the prayers is permissible or mandatory, then also the breaking of the fast becomes mandatory.
Okay.
And at any occasion where breaking the fast becomes mandatory, also the breaking of the prayers. This is regarding traveling, huh?
Only travel.
Not, let's say, not sickness, because sickness, if you are sick, you must break your prayers. This is only traveling, huh?
That makes sense. Okay.
Otherwise, someone who's sick in Ramadan, he must break. He has no, a sick person cannot continue. It's not accepted from him.
Right. But he prays.
It's haram, actually, but he has to pray. This is only traveling. Except 3 places where we're going to mention that. There is no talazum between them, no correlation. They separate in the 3 places. And these are exceptions. So the norm is correlation. The exception, 3 positions where they are separated. So the second is tasalum. They all accept this. Now, what are the 3 places or occasions where you can fast, but you can't do complete prayers? You have to break your prayers.
There's one on Hajj. There's one on Hajj.
Where?
The day before Fitr.
In fact, 2 places during Hajj, not just one.
One was Muzdalifah. In Muzdalifah, I think you can fast. I'm not sure.
One is when a person cannot afford, financially cannot afford the hadi. Hadi means qurbani in Mina. So if he cannot, he doesn't have money. Let's say the hadi, the qurbani is 500 riyals, it used to be. which is $150. He doesn't have money. Then, in that case, he has to fast. Okay? He would fast 10 days. But 3 of them has to be during the trip, and 7 when he comes back home. ثلاثة في الحج وسبعة إذا رجعتم تلك عشرة كاملة. This is the wording of the Quran in Surah Al-Baqarah. So if you don't have money to sacrifice, then you fast 3 days. Though you are traveling, but this is
3 days, then 7 after you get back.
yes. So while he's doing broken prayers, he can fast 3 days, or he must fast for the one who does not afford the hadi. Another one as a penalty also. Someone leaves Arafat. What is the official standing in Arafat? From when to when? Those who have been to Hajj, those of you. From noon till sunset. This is the mandatory time that you must be in Arafat. From Dhuhr till Maghrib, noon till sunset. Someone leaves before sunset. He goes to Muzdalifah. And some people do, not some, thousands of people, I've seen them. Because they want to occupy a place in Muzdalifah, good place, they leave 1 hour before sunset. They start, the buses also, the drivers are happy. They leave Arafat. In that case, there is a penalty. And the penalty is what? Is to sacrifice a cow, not a sheep. And the cow is expensive. And if you don't have money for that, then that person has to fast 18 days while traveling. No shajanish. Travels 18 days while he is fast 18 days while he is traveling. So this is the second.
So this traveling can be any 18 days in the year while traveling? Well,
No, and during his trip to Hajj.
yeah, true.
From tomorrow, he begins from tomorrow, following day.
Well, he doesn't go 18 days.
In the old days, they used to stay 6 months in Hajj. Now it is 2 weeks.
Yeah.
In the old days, when Hajj is finished, they don't return immediately. They would stay 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. Some of them, they stay for the next season. Now they have office work, they have to go back immediately.
But these guys have to stay then 18 days in this case.
If he's staying,
If he's staying.
but if his ticket is tomorrow, then that's it. It's a dropped. He has to fast here when he comes home.
More days or still the same?
No, 18. The third place, if someone does a vow, nadhr, that if God cures my son, if God finds me a job, if I buy a house, if I graduate, then I will fast anytime or immediately. As soon as I get the news, as soon as they call me, they say, you won the lottery. Even if I am in Vegas, traveling for business, of course, then I have to begin fasting. So because he made a nadhr, so he has to begin fasting even if he's traveling. Because he made a vow. Okay? Even though his prayers are broken, but he has to fulfill the vow while he's traveling. So these are 3 exceptions. Otherwise, in other areas, they have to. However, there are fuqaha, they say, also there are some exceptions. In some places, الأماكن الأربعة What are the 4 places?
I mean, Kufa, all those places.
Exactly. Mecca, Medina, Kufa, and the shrine of Imam Hussein. You have the choice, even if you are there for 2 days, 3 days, not 10 days, to offer full prayers. You have takhir, choice, takhir. But then you don't have the choice to fast. Though you can offer full prayers, but you can't fast. Arash, do you follow me?
Yes.
You go to Mecca for 3 days. How should you pray? How should you pray? Answer me. Full or broken?
Broken.
Broken, because less than 10 days. However, Mecca, Medina, Kufa, and the shrine of Imam Hussein, not the whole city of Karbala, inside the shrine, these are exceptions. You can offer full prayers, even if you are there for 1 day. This is called takhir. Takhir. Takhir means choice. Takhir. Choice. Having a choice. Okay? Whereas ta'een, what does ta'een mean?
Prescribed already.
Exactly. Ta'een means it's mandatory to follow. Mu'ayyan. You have no choice. So in these 4 places, though he is there temporarily and he should break his prayers, but they say no, if you are in these 4 cities, you may offer full prayers, but you can't fast. So for the prayers is takhir, between full or half, but for the fasting is ta'een. He should not fast. Yes.
And then once you decide that you want to do the full prayers, you can pick which prayers you want to do full, or you have to start doing.
No, they say you can choose. Dhuhr you do full, Asr broken.
Okay.
Yeah. You can pick and choose.
I'm sorry, say,
Yeah.
what was ta'een for again?
Ta'een means it is must.
Which one?
You don't have a choice. Takhir means you have a choice between praying full or half in these 4 cities.
Right.
If you are traveling, you have the choice of offering full prayers.
Okay.
But fasting, you don't have a choice. Fasting is ta'een, that you have to break your fast if you are less than 10 days.
When you say Kufa, do you mean Masjid of Kufa or not Najaf?
Ha. Masjid, some fuqaha, they say only the mosque. Some say the city too, encompasses the city, like Mecca and Medina.
So just in Kufa, not in Najaf.
No, not Najaf. Najaf is not Kufa. Najaf is not Kufa.
So not in Imam Ali's
No,
shrine.
no.
Only in Masjid.
Yes. Yeah.
Quds is not one of the.
No. Quds for Palestinians. In fact, the hadith, لا تشد الرحال إلا لثلاث. The hadith of the Prophet, there is a difference between the Sunni version and the Shia version. The Sunni version says, travel is not authorized unless to 3 places: Mecca, Medina, Jerusalem. That's the Sunni. In the Shia tradition, it's not authorized, لا تشد الرحال إلا لثلاث, except for 3 locations: Mecca, Medina, and Kufa. Not Jerusalem, Kufa.
So what's the shaddu rihan?
To shaddu rihal, you pack your luggage.
Okay.
So the Prophet said, it's not appropriate to pack your luggage and travel anywhere except for these 3 places. It's a metaphor of the importance of these. Not that you cannot travel, it's forbidden, you don't travel here or there. No, it means it has lots of merits.
Right.
It's worth it, the exhaustion, the spending money, facing whatever. It's worth it to go to these 3 places. Now, another position. If someone was traveling in Ramadan and he arrived into this airport before noon, this airport, the airplane landed in Irvine before noon. And he did not eat, he did not drink. He came from Chicago, let's say. He was traveling. But when he left Chicago from morning, from Fajr, he didn't eat and he did not drink. Can he, now that he landed at 11:30, let's say Adhan is noon, let's say noon, 12. He landed 11:30, this is his home. He reached home, this is his city. Can he do the niyyah of fasting and fast this day, or it's over? He can,
Yes.
as long as he did not eat. However, he cannot begin the niyyah in Chicago because he was traveling in Chicago. He does the niyyah when he touches down here, if he touches down before noon. So then he can fast. Okay? But then, if that person leaves his home in the afternoon, that day, the noon prayers, should he do full or broken? He's leaving in the afternoon.
Noon prayer? He arrived that day from Chicago?
No. This is another example. He wants to go to San Diego and he leaves in the afternoon. He leaves immediately after the salat.
Yeah, full prayer?
Full prayers. But how about the fasting?
He has to continue fasting.
He has to continue. So they are the same. Now, if he wants to leave before
Before what?
before noon,
He has to break. He has to break both.
Well, no, because he's still here. So I think that it's full.
But he left before noon.
I mean, has he left
He left before noon.
He-
So
he-
by
he
the
flew-
time he reached the 22 kilometer, then
Did he
then
leave?
there he.
he what?
if he
In the
arrived-
afternoon.
If he
But
arrived
in the
before-
afternoon, if he leaves in the afternoon,
If he lives in the afternoon,
Fast.
then he already.
and he goes to San Diego. Let's say he left in the afternoon, he reached San Diego 5 p.m. Let's say 5 p.m. Should he break his fast or continue?
Continue.
Continue.
Because he didn't.
But should he break his prayers or full?
Full.
So this is one of the places where they diverge. There is no correlation. There is divergence. Though he is still fasting, but he offers his prayers broken. Or the other example,
You mean the afternoon, the
Maghrib
Asr?
Maghrib and
No, the Asr.
Asr.
Yeah.
Asr and the noon.
Asr, Maghrib, Isha, he's in San Diego.
Right.
He has to break them.
Yeah.
Okay, Maghrib he doesn't have. Maghrib is, anyway.
Wait,
Yeah.
Asr he breaks? Why would he break Asr?
If he does the Asr in San Diego, not here. Let's say he
Oh,
did
he did
Dhuhr
Dhuhr here.
and he
Oh.
left. He was in a hurry.
He didn't do Asr.
Yeah.
Ah, then
So his Asr has to be broken
Asr,
while his fasting is
maintain.
complete. The other example, he reached home, the airplane touched down 1 بعد الزوال. So يجب عليه what? If he reached down,
After Maghrib.
no, afternoon he reached.
He has
So how does he do his prayers?
full prayer.
He
Full prayers, تمام. مع أنه يتعين عليه الإفطار because he reached in the afternoon. So his prayers, if he touches down, let's say Adhan is at 12:06. Today was 12:06 noon. He reached 12:10. The airplane landed. So his prayers is what here? Full? Okay? Tamam.
If this is his home, yes.
But the fasting is what? He came after.
Fasting, there's no
maintains it.
fasting.
He maintains.
He came after. He reached home.
12:06.
Yes.
Yeah.
Adhan.
He had already left before the Adhan.
No. He's coming from Chicago. His home is here. So he
Oh,
arrived.
he's arriving home.
Yes.
Oh.
So he arrived after the Adhan.
I
So his prayers should be what? Full, because this is his home. But how about his fasting? He loses that day. Exactly. So here also they diverge. They are not the same. So the prayers is full, but the fasting is broken, is voided. He missed this day because he arrived in the afternoon. Okay. Now, two mas'ala and we conclude with this maxim. One of them is that a person travels, قال الإمام الخميني in his book, لو صلى المسافر بعد تحقق شرائط القصر تماما. He traveled from here and he's supposed to do broken prayers in San Diego, let's say. But he did not know. Either he didn't know about hukm or mawdu'. What is the difference between them? He was jahil. He was ignorant about hukm or mawdu'. Mawdu' is what? Subject. Hukm is what? Verdict. He traveled, but he never heard that when he travels he should break his prayers. So he doesn't know about the hukm. He's jahil in the verdict he did. Or he traveled and he doesn't know this is San Diego. He thinks this is Orange County because he went to the same mall and they are similar. He got confused. He doesn't know that it's traveling. Okay? He forgot. Maybe he was asleep in the car. He did not even realize that, wow, this is a different city. I'm outside my home. If he did his prayers, should he repeat the prayers? He's jahil.
No.
He's ignorant.
So you're saying if he did them full, does he have to repeat them broken?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
he did his prayers full. Either he did not know about the verdict. He never heard in his life that when you travel, you have to break your prayers. Or he did not even realize that I'm traveling. Jahil.
Isn't there a difference between it's a different answer between those two, isn't it? Say?
There is a difference between jahil, ignorant, and nasi, forgetting. If in this case, he does not repeat his prayers. But in this case, he does repeat. Nasi. He forgot. Some people, they forget that he's traveling. He goes to the hotel, Allahu Akbar, and then he does dhuhr 4 times. Though he did it full, he has to cancel it and pray another 2 rak'ah. Because he forgot. But the jahil is forgiven. In case of ignorance, it's forgiving. What's that? Yeah, better be jahil not to learn.
How about it's the other way around?
And also, someone who was fasting and he did not know that he should break his fast. And he completed his fasting until Maghrib. And someone told him in the evening, he told him you should have broken your fast. That day is accepted from him. He doesn't have to repeat that day. But if he knew 1 minute before sunset, then he has to break his fast. And he has to make up that day. If he knew halfway through before Maghrib, he knew the ruling. Somebody told him, Fuzul Umar, Hassan as in Fuzulah. This is why don't tell people, keep it, you know. Yeah, the ulama were asked, this is a common mas'ala among the ulama, that do you have a duty to tell people, for instance, this is wrong, you did it wrong, or not? Not, you don't have a duty. Do you have a religious duty? Not moral. Moral duty probably it's good to teach people, to fix their, but religious duty, meaning that if you did not tell him, did you do a sin or not?
Isn't it part of Amr bil Ma'ruf?
I'm asking.
If you don't tell him, is it a sin? If you don't
Yeah.
tell him?
Someone did his tawaf in a wrong way, let's say. Do you have to go and tell him? Do you have this duty, religious duty, to go and tell him? Or no, you don't have any religious responsibility. Maybe moral responsibility to tell people to fix their actions, you do. But do you have religious? Meaning if you don't tell, are you liable for punishment?
I think you're right.
No, this is the right answer. Or it's Fajr and someone is sleeping. Do you have the duty of going and knocking at his door? Wake up for Salatul Fajr. Hey, wake up! Or you don't? Huh?
No, you don't.
You don't.
There's too
Even
much-
if you are sleeping in the same room,
Yeah.
sharing the same room, in Hajj, in whatever, in the military, and you don't have the religious duty to go and wake him up and tell him it's Fajr prayers or any other prayers.
Too much burden to do a
It's
lot.
not about burden. It's about respecting people's privacy.
But what about the concept of Amr bil Ma'ruf?
No.
Do you have a liability on it?
No, Amr bil Ma'ruf, it is important. But sometimes someone is drinking alcohol. This is Amr bil Ma'ruf. Someone is fornicating. Someone is committing murder. Someone is stealing. Someone is backbiting. But someone is missing his prayers because Amr bil Ma'ruf has and Nahi an al Munkar levels and degrees.
And the wajibat don't include those degrees?
Wajibat, it's good to encourage people, yes. You come to a community, they don't pray. They don't pray. They don't fast. They don't give alms. They don't go to Hajj. So you tell them, this is Amr bil Ma'ruf. But not that you go to individuals and wake him up if he's asleep. Or tell him that, listen, your ruku' wasn't, morally yes, but not religiously. If you saw someone doing his prayers in a wrong way, his ruku' was not a proper ruku', his sujood, his qira'ah, recitation was messed up. It's good to go and fix it for him. But if you don't do, if you choose not to, there is nothing on you.
Does that include your family as well, say? I thought you had a liability.
Family has a different. Family, it's different, but even they say, the fuqaha, in the morning prayers, even your wife, you don't have the obligation, or she doesn't have the obligation to wake you up, or you don't have the obligation to wake your son or your daughter. It's good, training them, helping them, but you are not obliged. See, this is the difference. You are not obliged.
Do you become obliged if they ask you specifically, can you wake me up for Fajr?
Yeah.
Then it becomes wajib for you to
Yeah,
wake
because
up.
they asked you here. They want you to wake them up. You have a response. Either you say, no, listen, because I sleep until dhuhr. I'm the wrong person. Or if you say yes, then you have to do that because you promised them. Yes.
If you don't get to that point, 16 miles, 22 kilometers, you think you did, and you do 2 rakat instead of 4.
Mm.
And then later you realize that you made a mistake.
Then it's okay. You don't repeat your prayers. If you are under the impression that you traveled, then we read this mas'ala last year in Sharia. If you are within the time, you discover that before sunset, let's say, then you repeat. If you discover that you are not really traveling, then you repeat your prayers and do qada. Okay? But if the time has elapsed and you discover that in the evening, let's say, after sunset, then you don't repeat your prayers. Do we take another maxim or this one is enough? What do you think? Another one will take longer. We don't have enough time.
That's good.
What time?
مولانا is there like a maxim of تقليد?
Q&A.
Maxim of taqleed. Why? It's. I think we do have, yes. For taqleed, we do have.
No, just
Hmm. What about taqleed?
no, about
Can we turn this off and then we discuss taqleed? Because taqleed is sensitive. So.